Imagine being an endorsed artist dedicating 15 to 20 years to a brand you love, only for them to blacklist you forever over a single comment that you made on Facebook. That's exactly what happened here with Gibson, Mesa Boogie, and Fluff. Now, to get a full picture of what's happened here, let's take 2 seconds to recap on everything going on with Mesa Boogie. Now, if you're a guitarist or pretty much anyone in the recording industry, you've probably heard of Mesa Boogie. They started all the way back in 1969 and they revolutionized heavier sounding guitar amps, especially for rock and metal and punk music. But it was really the 1990s and early 2000s when Mesa Boogie became iconic. Back then, it felt like every rock, punk, and metal band had a Mesa Boogie amp inside of their rig. And at the center of it all was Randall Smith. He was the founder and main man behind everything to do with Mesa Boogie.
My fee for repairs was, I charged $1 a minute to work on a Fender amp, and the average bill was $7.
Welcome to Tube Town. You get a close-up of that beauty there, see this? That's the dual rectifier.
And for over 50 years, they were doing their thing out of Petaluma, California, building amps, coming out with new models, repairing amps, and overall building an incredible legacy in the guitar world. Now, on January 6, 2021, Gibson officially acquired Mesa Boogie. Randall Smith was 74 years old, and after 52 years of dedication, it was pretty clear that he'd probably just stick around at Gibson for a couple more years before retiring. Or so we think. Now that gets us up to speed with Mesa Boogie. Let's take a look at the YouTuber Fluff.
Hello one and all, my name is Ryan Bruce, my friends call me Fluff, and today on Wrist Beards and Gear,
Ryan Bruce, better known as Fluff, has been a staple of the guitar YouTube scene for the past 13-14 years. I took a look at his first YouTube videos, and funnily enough, out of the first 8 videos in 2011, 6 of them were demos of Mesa Boogie amps. Now, anyone who's followed Fluff knows that he loves Mesa Boogie. I actually went through his channel and tried counting how many Mesa Boogie videos he's had. I stopped counting at 51 videos. He clearly just has a mega ton of Mesa Boogie content. And apart from making YouTube videos, Fluff was also a guitarist in the band Dragged Under, and there he was an officially endorsed Mesa Boogie artist. Now, I don't know Fluff personally, but in the world of guitar YouTubers, he's kind of on the Mount Rushmore of OG guitar content creators. He started all the way back in 2011. He was making great content back then. He's still making great content now, especially if you're into heavy rock, metal, punk kind of music. And from what I've seen and from everybody that I've spoken to, Fluff seems to be genuinely one of the good guys in the guitar space. He's built a reputation for himself. He's pretty down to earth, talented, professional, all those sorts of nice words. I can't ever recall anyone saying a bad word about him. And for somebody with a platform of his size, it's kind of rare to be universally liked. So that pretty much gets us up to speed with Mesa Boogie and Fluff in general. Let's take a look at what Fluff told us on his FAQ video this week about what happened with him and Gibson.
Are you no longer playing boogies or a boogie artist? I am no longer with Mesa Boogie. Basically the story is, I made a comment on the Mesa Boogie group confirming or stating that Randall Smith had been fired. The comment was up for about 20 minutes. I get a call. Bring. Gibson are not stoked on that comment. Can you please take it down? So I take down the comment. It was up for 20-30 minutes. The next day, Guitar Bomb uses my a screenshot of my comment, writing an article breaking the news that Randall Smith had been fired from Mesa Boogie. And they were very, very upset with me. And they then told me that they would never work with me again. And they said, we will no longer support anything you're doing over there. That's slightly heartbreaking. It's fine. It's super unfortunate. It bums me out that it has to go that way. But also looking at my Mesa Boogie stuff in particular is like looking at photos of an old girlfriend that you dearly loved or something. I don't know how to explain it. So I don't want to promote them, and I don't want to promote Gibson at all on my channel, which is my choice. It's my channel. And there's plenty of other creators to make all of the content around the new Mesa Boogie stuff. No one's gonna miss my stuff. Totally fine.
Even the first time I watched this, I could see him welling up as he was telling that story. And should he have posted that stuff to Facebook? Should they have fired Randall in the first place? It's a bit of a tit for tat sort of situation. And it's not like people weren't going to find out. Mesa Boogie's a pretty big company. Gibson's a massive company. And funnily enough, Randall Smith himself has been posting amp videos lately, and just this week he also confirmed that he was definitely fired from Gibson.
The next guy we go to is John Marshall, who has a great history with Metallica, and he is the guy that I have transitioned my brain into. He is the leading design guy there now that I've been fired.
It just seems like in one swift move, Gibson managed to cut ties with the man who created Mesa Boogie, and he also alienated one of the biggest advocates of Mesa Boogie in the guitar YouTube gear community. It just seems like a really bad look all around, and unfortunately, this seems to be how Gibson's been operating for a while now, and it just sucks to see. And it really needs to be said, Fluff has taken this like an absolute champion. There are so many other YouTubers that would have done some knee-jerk reaction stuff, made petty videos, possibly threats, passive aggressivism, just the gamut of childish behavior. But Fluff waited 6 months, and it specifically took somebody writing in an FAQ video asking him what's going on with him in Mesa Boogie for him to even bring up this situation at all. And let's be real, when it comes to YouTube, we're in a world of clickbait content, and the man is an absolute saint for keeping this kind of gold story bottled up when he could have easily milked it for views. I mean, isn't that what we're doing now? But honestly, that's what makes the whole situation even more heartbreaking. I would honestly love to see Gibsons reach out, swallow their pride a little bit, and make things right with Fluff. You know, these sort of situations happen. It's all part of life. It's all part of growth. Both parties definitely have some sort of fault in how all this went down, but there's no reason things need to stay this way. Gibson, if you're listening, you know, we get it. Probably shouldn't have posted that comment to Facebook. You probably shouldn't have fired Randall Smith, but you know, what's the point of blacklisting Fluff for life? It's incredibly petty, kind of achieves nothing, creates bad blood in the community. It would be such a great resolution if you reached out, patched things up, and brought Fluff back into the Mesa Boogie fold. He was one of the biggest advocates, and honestly, even in that video, he still spoke highly of Mesa Boogie gear even after all of that stuff happened.
The new amps that they're putting out are awesome. They sound awesome. You guys will see a video that I shot at Sweetwater for the new rectifier that I shot 6 months ago. It's a great amp, and yeah, you guys will enjoy it.
And before we wrap this up, I want to talk directly to my fellow content creators here, and this isn't just for guitarists or gear reviewers. I think this applies to anybody working with brands in any niche. If you take a look at this, it's all a bit of a lesson on why I think you shouldn't sell your soul to a single brand or company, because apparently even 20 years of loyalty can go out the window in a second. And look, luckily Fluff is pretty well established. He has a ton of options when it comes to guitar and audio companies to work with, and I guess that is something that I want all of you to aspire to as well. This is probably a bigger conversation that I could do a dedicated video about, so if you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. So yeah, the whole situation sucks. Hopefully Gibson can turn things around, but regardless, Fluff, you're an absolute legend. And to anybody else out there working with brands, know your worth. Don't let yourself become a puppet, because once you start going down that road, it's way too easy to get thrown to the wayside over something as small as potentially a single comment made on social media. As always, if you stuck around to the end of the video, you're a legend, and I'll catch you on the next one.